Salute to everybody that's tuning into this episode right here. Um, Welcome back, right? To the I'm Not a Hater podcast with your favorite not hater, Mr. BORW and Mr. Brown. Um, listen, we're gonna be talking about a crucial topic to life today. We're gonna be talking about a little bit of positivity, how to spread positivity, be positive overall in your own life, right? In the lives of others at this point in your journey. Um, as y'all can see, right? Like, I'm really not a hater because I'm talking about stuff that's non-hate filled. I'm talking about positivity and how to live a good life and boundaries and mental health. And I'm giving you things that can help you progress in your life. Like, if I was really, really, really a hater, I wouldn't be talking about none of that stuff. But here I am to give you another set of jewels and things to live by that I try to live by my own self in this life, being positive, right? So, people always say, stay positive or be positive or think positive. Typical words that you hear, right? I said that. But truthfully, even living a positive life is incredibly hard to maintain. You want to be positive all the time, but certain things get in the way. I know that for a fact. I'm a pretty positive, optimistic type of person, and even I struggle with these tips and things I'm about to tell you, but I do try to live by them each and every day of my life. So we're going to jump right in, and here we go. All right. To be positive in life, you got to practice positive self-talk. I'm talking too fast. We got to practice positive self-talk. Encourage yourself. Okay? That's a huge one. Start off by telling yourself it's going to be a great day. That's the first thing you should do. Once your feet hit the floor, tell yourself I'm going to do great. Now, it sounds kind of corny or cliche, but hitting your right mindset to start your day off, perfect. Okay? It could be a small thing, whatever, but it's setting the tone. It's putting you in the right mindset to be successful and have a great time while doing so. You're going to smile, you're going to laugh a little bit more because you started yourself off on the right foot. This isn't easy because every day isn't going to be a great positive day for you. You're going to get up some days and not feel it. You're not going to be feeling it. You're not going to want to do it. But in order to be positive, right, you have to take the steps to do so. And this is one of the first things that you can do to set yourself up for positivity and a positive mindset. Now, next, I talked about this one in the dash and having a great life, having an attitude of gratitude. During the day or at the end of the day, think of at least 5 things that you could be thankful for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whether it could be something as simple as having a job, having a home, having kids, having a significant other, having, money, whatever the case is, whatever it is, just be thankful that you have it, right? Too many times we don't take the time to appreciate what we have, and we become unhappy, become miserable. Having that attitude of gratitude, though, makes you appreciative of the things that you have in life, and you won't take those things for granted. That's just real simple. I'm gonna run through these really quickly, right? Celebrate yourself. Just like in the success episode, celebrate yourself. It's huge for positivity. It's boosting your confidence level at all times. You acknowledging your accomplishments, you celebrating yourself, you might even celebrate others. Spread that positivity around. Celebrate yourself, your co-workers, your family, your friends, whatever the case may be. Celebrate yourself to start, though. Give yourself that room to feel like, yes, I accomplished something great and positive in the world. Like, I don't often do it. See, when I said it gets difficult, right? I'm giving you this advice, but sometimes I don't celebrate myself. It takes other people to be like, yo, you did a fantastic job, or you doing a great job at whatever the case is, for me to look back and go, yo, I really did do a good job at that, right? It's sometimes you don't want to celebrate yourself, and I'm gonna give you the negative to why you don't want to celebrate yourself, because you don't want to seem as though you're being vain, right? Having too full of yourself, too much pride. You don't want to seem like you're that type of person. But there's nothing wrong with giving yourself a pat on the back, as they say, with your accomplishments, right? And even with the attitude of gratitude, right? It's when you're going through like a tough time, it's hard to find reasons to be appreciative or thankful if you're going through a rough patch. Like if you find yourself being depressed or sad about everything, it's going to be difficult for you to turn around and be like, I'm thankful because I have a job. You're not going to care one way or the other if you have that job, because truthfully, you're just going to be going through the motions. You're just going to be like, I'm getting up, I'm going to work. That's cool. Whatever. You're not going to be, focused on the positive stuff, right? Because you're not in that mode. So you have to put yourself in that mode. But again, like I said, waking up in the morning and deciding to tell yourself it's going to be a great day or I'm going to have a great day, that's also difficult because every day isn't going to be great. You're going to wake up some mornings, it's probably going to be Monday morning. You're going to wake up Monday morning and feel like I'm not feeling it. And maybe throughout the rest of the week you are positive, but that first day often sets the tone for your week. So if you're not positive on a Monday, then it's going to be pretty hard for you to remain that way Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, etc. But use these things and try to flip it, try to change it, right? So my biggest thing that I am in life, right? I'm optimistic pretty much all the time. And this isn't easy. It's not always easy to see the bright side in everything, right? But if you want to be positive, and you got to expect things to be positive, right? You got to keep in mind that everything's not going to go your way, right? Optimism is just like, I believe that it's going to be great, but it may not always be great. But you got to keep that positive thought in the back of your mind that, this could be the thing that turns it, on the right side. But again, everything that you're not going to always feel like that. You're going to have, moments and times where you like that optimism could go out the window because this can't be the way that life is right now. It just can't be. Being positive is not easy. I'll just be honest with you. And I'll give you a clear-cut example. So it was 2015, I believe. I was working at, I'll just go ahead and say it. I was working at our piece of the pie. I was trying to figure out how not to say this with using like specific terms. But if it's a podcast, I'm supposed to be honest about, when I was at my lowest and how the positivity kept me going, right? So I was working at this place. I've been there approximately 3 years. I was working as the music instructor for the youth program. And I was feeling great. Like, you didn't have to tell me to be positive because I loved what I was doing. I was finally able to use, my degree in music, engineering and technology. And I was able to work with youth, kids, it was like the perfect storm, perfect job. And then due to budget cuts, I was relieved of my duties that July of 2015. So now you got to remember at this point, I have a wife and a son, and Kendall wasn't on the way, but we had plans for, another child to come into the world. So I never forget it, right? I get called into the office, and boss at the time, gives me the bad news, says, he didn't want to let me go, tried to find another place for me to work, but it just didn't work out. So I had to walk back, take that long walk back to my office, head down, sad, depressed, whatever you want to call it. But, they allowed me to leave early that day. I go home. I gotta call my wife. I gotta tell her like, hey, I just lost my job, and automatically had to hit the ground running, whether I wanted to or not. It's just in me. It was in me. Like, I gotta provide for my family and keep that going. Like, I didn't have time to wallow in my sadness. The thing that kept me going was, wise words that I had heard from, my grandfather early on. Like, you'll always, rebound from tough losses. You'll always be able to land on your feet. And that optimism kept me focused. And like I said, I was emotional about it because, again, this was like a perfect job. But I had to every day until I got my new job, right? I kept telling myself like, yo, you're going to be okay. You're gonna be all right. Something's gonna pull through. People around me, family and friends, people around me told me like, yo, you're gonna be good. Everything's gonna turn out right. Everything's gonna work out right. And the optimism, the positive talk, the positive affirmations from people, it kept me up because truthfully on the inside, I was a wreck. Because to me, I'm like, I just lost my income sources. I mean, of course, you get, you leave a job, you get the severance package and all those things, and that's great. But in my mind, because I'm a natural worker, like I work, okay. I don't know how to be like it was driving me crazy because I don't know how to be at home. I don't know how to just sit and not do anything. So at that point, I'm like, how am I gonna make it? You know what I mean? Like I was really going crazy, but people around me just kept feeding me positivity, and kept telling me that I was gonna be all right. And then by the end of, I want to say maybe the second week of me, because I was home for like 2 weeks. So like the end of me, by the end of the second week, like I had got a job interview, and then from that job interview, I had got actually two job interviews. I went to one, and it was for like a substitute teacher, which was cool. It would have made ends meet at the time, but I was looking for something more full time ish. And then so by the end of that first week, got a call from Achievement First in Hartford, and that started my working back in the school's journey, that I currently been on. So, but if I didn't have that positivity in my head, to keep going, um, and like I said, those people around me to give me positive affirmations and positive vibes, I don't think I would have made it. I was literally going crazy. Um, So that was just like a little story just to show you like it's not easy being positive every day, but it can help. And it does help if you know do it correctly, or say it to yourself enough. You will have yourself believing that everything will work out. Now you also have to put in some legwork to these things too. But telling yourself is half the battle, doing it is the other 50%. And that's what I learned over time. Like I could tell myself it's gonna be good, but if I'm not putting forth the effort to also make everything good, then it's gonna be difficult. But hey, if I made it through, and where I'm at a good space now where I can be positive about things in life, listen, life is gonna blow you some harsh deals if you live long enough. But you just gotta know how to weather it, and like I said, still remain optimistic at the end of the day. And that's pretty much how I look at it. But with that being said, I'm gonna let y'all go. This is the positivity episode. I hope y'all understand that celebrating yourself, remaining optimistic, talking positive to yourself are all steps you could take to live a positive lifestyle. I hope you guys can adapt this to your life, your current life, and maybe it'll change your mindset about how things go in the world. This is your favorite not hater, again giving you jewels for your life. Peace and love. I'll see you on the next one.